Hi, I'm Dorothy, and my Montessori years have been real. I started out in toddler Maine, where I met two of my best friends, Ava and Grayson. My best memory from toddlers was when Grayson and I were told to dry off the slides with towels because there was water on them from rain the night before. Obviously, being two 3-year-olds, we did not do as instructed. Instead, we cleaned the slides by dunking the towels into muddy puddles. Then we sat on the wet towels and slid down the slide one by one to make sure the whole thing got cleaned. I would say we went above and beyond what we were asked, and I think that's great. In pre-K, I met Ian and Ewan. All I remember from pre-K was falling off a log and hitting my face on the next one in front of me. My elementary years 1 and 2 were awesome. I was in Ewan, Maine, where I met Fiona, Patrick, and Kane. I remember every year I would always hit my head on a pole and would always leave a big knot on my head, which some would say explains a lot now. Something I really remember was that every field trip I would always get put in a vehicle with Ian and Grayson. We would call ourselves the Ewan Maine Buddies. E2 is where I met the rest of my friends. Memories go from hitting my head on more poles, playing football every day at recess, and just being young and happy. While everything was going perfectly, COVID-19 shut it all down. Having to isolate at home and not being able to go anywhere was absolutely dreadful. I wasn't able to see my friends for 6 months. I'm forever grateful I still got to go on walks, go biking, and still have fun outside. Oh, and here comes middle school. When I started middle school, I was terrified. I would never ask for help or barely talk to anyone. Middle school taught me a lot about initiative, bravery, and strength. I've made a ton of memories in middle school. Most of them have been on trips. During our capstone trip last year, our bus broke down and we were just a bunch of middle schoolers running the streets of Austin. You can already picture how that might have looked. Also during that trip, we stayed at these log cabins by these huge ditches that used to be filled with water. And one morning on the trip, we went to go look for fossils. I was struggling to find any until one caught my eye. It was about the size of a thumbtack. It was in great condition, hence why I was excited. I ran over to Mr. Matt and asked him to identify what it was. He started laughing, which made me really confused. He then looked at me in the eyes and said, "Dorothy, that's a pecan shell." After that day, I never got excited immediately over anything until I knew for sure what the reality might be. From learning square dancing in the dark to almost yelling at college kids for being too loud, and to the bus breaking down when you were about to go see Shakespeare in the park, the trips we go on are always filled with the most random, unexpected events, which is what I love most. A core memory from a trip this year in Houston, Ava, Ian, Ewan, Olivia, Mr. Matt, and Miss Amy and I were trying to come up with band names. We took random words and put them together. Some were board obsessions, sidewalk possessions, and space obsidian. None stuck, and we all eventually forgot about it. Moments like those cause the most laughs, which causes happiness, which causes a good day. Owl was the trip where I had the most fun. The 7th graders and I went on a little adventure in the woods. That was the most I had ever laughed, partly because we forgot where we were and we turned our panic into humor. We all learned from that day forward that when our curiosity gets the best of us, we might end up almost knee-deep in water trying to get our water bottle back. There are at least 1,000 more stories I could talk about just from these past 2 years. Middle school has been the time of my life. My most favorite part about walking into middle school each day is knowing that I can just speak freely, move freely, and just be me freely. I believe the Montessori education system is the best system in the world, and I've had 12 years of experience, so I know what I'm talking about. My teachers over the years have been some of the best people I'll ever meet. Most of them seem to me more as friends than authorities. I guess that's just from them knowing how to talk to a 14-year-old because they were also one too. These past 2 years really have made my life mold into a new shape. I am forever grateful for my time at Montessori. Some words of wisdom I would give to the upcoming 8th graders is to never ever hesitate to ask for help. It may seem scary, but trust me, it is just a part of life. And trust me, I know you may think you seem weak by asking for help, but in reality, asking for help is the strongest thing anyone can do. It is because asking for help isn't giving up, it's refusing to give up. Thank you.